Hello everyone and welcome back. In this video I will be teaching you how to play Franz Liszt Liebestraum, and is also known as Love Dream. The first thing that you should know is the A flat major scale. If you know that scale, then you will understand that the whole melody is based on that scale. So we have this melody. Okay, so if you have the melody like that, he's going to start harmonizing, and because we are in A flat major, we also use the same chord for the first melody. So we're going to flip these notes, we're going to put A flat here and C here. And we have the melody and this chord. All he's going to do is move it around, so he will play C. Okay? And then it's going to fill up the rest of it with the left hand. So we have E flat to start with, and we go to A flat, C, and then we change. Just keep in mind the chord, so that means, so we have two of them, and you will have to move it. When we go here, he's going to change the chord, and he's going to base this on a C7 chord. C7 is like this. The only thing is he's getting rid of G, put it on the bass, and adding a C here. So when you play C, you have two of those. And he'll move it. Rest, melody again, and change. So let's play these two measures. The first one with an A flat major chord, and the second one with a C7. Melody in the middle. Change to G, C7, rest. Okay, when we get there, that means we started on an A flat chord, peacefully. C7, a little bit of tension there. Melody and melody. Okay. Next measure is going to be based on an F7 chord. This sound, and if you bring it and voice it the same way we were voicing, pretty much on the middle of the keyboard here, from C to C, we have these notes. The F is on the bass, and what we did is flip these notes, bring the F below, and those two, A and E flat and C, bring it all the way up. So we have this. That would be the background right here. So when we do it one hand, notice the melody and the harmony on the top. So when we play together with F, D flat, and we change now again to a different chord. Now I'm going to play one time slowly, and remember that you could count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. If you do it a little bit faster, you could get to this. He put dolce, so it should be piano, it should be legato, and it says with affection. So here we have a crescendo. Notice the dissonance. B flat and C will sound like this. It's open, so it doesn't sound like that, but it does create tension. He put a dynamic to do a crescendo there when you get there. Now next chord, you have this, which it comes from a D minor 7 flat 5 over B flat, I could say. So when you play the C, you have two of those. and the F is missing, he will use it as part of the melody here. So we'll have this. On the rest we put the F, F again, and get there. So one more time, the D minor 7 flat 5. Okay? Next step would be the chords on the top. We have the melody first with E flat, resolving to A flat. So right hand we play this note and then this note. You could think it as two chords. This one first, D flat, E flat, C, and then we have this D flat, E flat, G, which comes from a E flat 7 chord. So we have one of this, rest, one of this, rest, and we go to A flat. With the melody we have, we get to the high note C and we resolve back. When we get to A flat, we have these notes, part of the same chord. Then we go bass, A flat, and we do kind of an inversion of the same notes, different order. So we have A flat, C, A flat, E flat, A flat. And he adds an E again to begin again the melody. And start back. In some editions, this is played with the left hand. I'm already there, so I take it with the same hand. Now, it's important that you could analyze a little bit the background and just play that without the melody. We discussed that the melody does this. And then you could play with different values according to your understanding of what music is and your values about it. Now, chords, you should also practice separate hands, and within the hand, the melody and the chord separate. So you could do this. So you could do the A flat, C7, F7, D minor 7, E flat 7, A flat. I'll do it one last time. So this is just to memorize and give you more freedom, the knowledge of harmony on the right hand. Then you add the melody with the bass. As a bass, we have the beginning of the piece, we have A flat, G, and F. And we go to B, E flat, E flat, A flat, and it starts over. So we add all that together, all three voices. So we have melody, bass, and the arpeggios on the right hand. We have three voices, so we play that. And then maybe you start singing that melody. This knowledge of dividing the harmony, the melody, and the bass will give you a better understanding of what the piece is all about, and eventually cuts the time. It becomes very simple and it flows because you worked it out on your brain and your mind and your ears separately. Next part is going to use the same thing. So in the first thing we did, crescendo, resolving, repeat. Here, the only thing I have to mention is that the chords remain the same, but he's gonna use, instead of going A flat, G, F, he's gonna use a chromatic scale to go to the F, that G flat that we have. Okay, so when we do it, we have the same A flat like before. We go to C7. Now on the rest we put G flat, melody and F7. Different approach to get to the same note. That's very interesting because at the beginning we went straight forward. To approach the F7 we did this. We're adding the G flat, so we do. Same thing but adding this chord. Change it a little bit the notes here, E flat F. And going to a new chord, a B flat 7. B flat 7 is like this, with the A flat in it. But he will open all these notes. And then do an open voicing like this, which is the same. You have the D, the F, and then doing an inside voice. So we could take it with the left hand, or we could do the right hand is already there with the accent. Tenuto, bass, together, and the same melody repeats with different harmonies. So let's talk a little bit about that. So for this part, A flat, so we have these two chords. Then we have the C, C7, bass, C7 again. This chord, open. That's important that you understand and group all these notes. If I have to do it slowly for you to see each one of them, so we have this. Left, going to a C7, crescendo, chromatic scale to get to F7, melody, augmented tension, F, and move it around, inside, flat 7, A flat again, then you have the chord. Okay, I think I used to think it almost like it's the same thing with these little changes. So have this, same, same. Now, that's the different note. Same, different, just that, and the different arpeggio here, and here's different. B flat 7, same left hand but different right hand. E flat 7, same again. A flat chord, the same chord. Okay, let's play up to that point. Always analyze the melody, the background, and then the bass, and you can't go wrong with it. Now the melody is gonna be on the thumb. So we have that. So when you do the A flat, now melody. Now when you play that, you have to think on this chord, D flat minor. So the E is placed below and the A flat on top. Then we run that. And this is going to be 2 times. Like that. So. So it's very simple if you think on the chord, D flat minor, bring the E below. Also, then after you do D flat E, which is these 2 notes, open. So we have chromatic, back, same chord, and then we go to A flat again. So let's play it now. Notice we get the C, and if we have a C, usually we do this note, so we run those notes. We do the bass A flat. Now we have that melody there, and we do the same. So when you do the C, we're gonna do an F minor. There you have it. Half step going up again, same chord, to get to C major. So one last time, F minor, and still F minor, to C major. Notice that C, G, C major is like this. We use the E on the top, but the C and the G, they're open right there. Then we run C major, so C major inversions, so we run from there. And that E on the bass has an accent, so, and is longer, so you could have it the whole time. Now from major we're gonna go to minor now, change your color. You can see the minor here, major, minor on the top chords. So E 2 times and move it. A minor. So you see A, E, C, A minor. So we have that chord on the top. E major now. So we have this. So E, B, and G sharp. E major here. See, this is inversion again, 2 and 2. Now here you have the same chord again. Now it's a C sharp minor with a C on the top. Pause. Melody. Another chord. Same again, but written with flats. E flat major. And we get there. So for the next part, what you need to think is a little bit on the melody. So when we have this, think on that, and then we put all the other notes. So let's say we have melody here on the thumb to D flat, left hand, B flat, left hand, back, and we get here to the fermata. So let's do it together now. So when you put this, all you do is stand those notes. You have a D here, you stand it here. You have a G here, you stand it here. And you add the same note here. So it's all the same. Now we're going to change to this. So if you move it now, move it. We add a little melody. We go back. E flat major now. We move it at A flat, B flat, back to the same. Instead now we use a B instead of the D flat. Same again. And E. We get that to the fermata, and we have kind of portato note. Kind of empty sounded. Okay, I think I'm gonna play a little bit this, and I hope this was helpful. Let's continue. Major, more color. Agitato, minor. Crescendo again. started I'm gonna start this. You have to think it like an E flat 7 chord. E is here, B is here, D is here, and then we have the G open. So most of the time this G comes a 10th. So the third from the chord is making it a 10th, Franz Liszt. So we go like this, arpeggio, and now we're gonna have this. So what I recommend here, once you get here, is looking at the chords a little bit. All you need to do for this is that we're gonna be playing a D flat minor with an E flat. E flat is like this, D flat is like this. Why do I say that? Because it's gonna help you understand it. Now the next two notes you'll see that that's this. So if you have the D flat major, you flip the chord, you get the same chord, and he's gonna move it like this to an E flat. Now he facilitated this because instead of doing it with one hand, he's gonna do this. Now this is the same sound with two hands. Think on the chord inversion of D flat minor and going to E flat, and then split it between the hands. 2, 5, 1, 3. And if on the chord you go down on this one up, that means you have to do the same, down, up. Now that's it for that one. So if you do, we have a simpler pattern. There you have it. Now if you did this, and if you do the inversion, so if you flip this chord and you flip also the E flat, you get this. So that's what he does. So he's taking it with two hands. When doing it with one hand would have been more difficult. Here you have it in root position, D flat to here. And then repeats itself till you get here and you see the same inversions repeat. So it's very important this. So you have to know the D flat minor inversions and also E flat. And if you can, to have a sense of what you're doing, play it with one hand. So that means D flat minor to E flat, 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 and so forth, D flat minor to E flat, until you get here. Then you make it simpler because you're gonna know where you go down and up. So you go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, each time for the chord. And then when you divide it with two hands, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. But it's important that you could hear by chords. First chord, D flat minor to E flat, D flat minor inversion to E flat inversion, same inversions, D flat minor to E flat flipped, comes from here, same. Now here repeats all of it through the octaves. So I think we have solved that problem, and if you think it like this, you will master easily. The other thing is for the right hand, I recommend this finger, 2, 5, 2, 4, and 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, and then repeat. Left hand always 1, 2. Only here you do second. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then you do it together. Down, up, down, up, down, up. If you need some momentum, you could start it a little bit slower from here. And then speed it up as you go higher. you could practice with rhythm. So the down up has to be here, down up. So let's say we do slow, fast to the next, fast to the next, or the opposite. You put a little bit of pedal, sometimes it helps because the dampers lift and the keyboard is lighter that way. If you keep the less pedal, it will cost you more energy because you have to strike the key and the damper have to come up all the way up. So this way is a little bit lighter, easier to play it and create the effect that is very quickly. So just remember those two chords, D flat minor and E flat. Remember the up down movement. Remember that you could play with one hand, all of this. So that would teach you a lot about the sense of it. You could do accents, accent on the first one, release, accent, accents on the second one. Now let's try to play it. Diminuendo. One of the important things is try to match it. If you are playing a melody like this, it's not necessary to do it, even though it's a cadenza, that quickly. So it sings still. Crescendo, diminuendo, and we go to the next theme. Once you get to the top, notice this, that it's still the same inversions. Right? So we're always working with D flat and E flat. Right hand slowly. So you can see the fingers. Do it together. 1. So to practice, I will do the same rhythms, fast and slow. Opposite. When you go quickly, you could do an emphasis to rest on this interval. So you start here, you lighten up here, there. A little pause to be able to gain a momentum to play the rest. So here. I think that's very important. So when you do it slowly, both hands, down up each time. Here, pause, and you get there. first thing that you should know is the B major scale. At the beginning we played this melody. Now all he's going to do is take that melody and transpose it. The only addition is that turn coming back. But notice that it's the same melody in a different key in B major, and it's only adding a half step here to start with rather than adding the whole 6 interval. Now once we have the melody on the top, we could start harmonizing this like he did, and we'll find the B major chord and we do the inversions. So we have the first inversion and he's gonna play that together. So we're gonna have D sharp inversion, D sharp inversion, and all he does is move that around. So he does melody on the top. That's it. Now if we have B major here, we could also do the inversions to get it on the left hand. So we have this. So we have this chord. And why not, when you play the D sharp, add the B and jump. We have that measure there, so we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then it's going to change. The melody is on top and it's a long note, so you should ring that more than the others. Now we'll change note and we're going to go to a D sharp 7. D sharp 7 is like this. What he does is get rid of that A sharp and put it on the bass, and also rearrange these notes and play these notes. So it's the same. So we have bass and a chord, and repeats 2 times. Very important. If we add the D sharp on top, we end up with this. And we could start moving that around also. Rest, melody, and we change to the next one. So let's play up to that point from B major. Now here we're gonna change. We're gonna go to a chord that is named D sharp minor flat 5. So we have these notes. Notice that it's dissonant, and if we have these notes, if we flip the same notes, F sharp here, C sharp here, and D sharp here, we have the inversions for it. We'll use this chord. So we have the A, and it's going to change. We have a different chord next. So we add the D, we go inside, melody again. If we move that around again, we have this together, melody, and change. We're gonna go to a G sharp 7. Let's play it one last time from B major. Now here we're gonna go to the melody E and G sharp on the bass. So we have the melody there, and if we harmonize it, we'll go to this chord. We'll also add the same notes. So if we have F sharp, we have F sharp on the left hand, C, C on the left hand, and D sharp here. So we play together, inside, melody to D sharp, and change. One last time slowly. The extra challenge he's having here is adding the left hand harmony, which are the same notes flipped. At the beginning we did this. So it was just one hand taking care of the harmony. We have a bass line. Now we have double. So it's adding, like he said at the beginning, more passion to it by adding the 2 lines. creates a very beautiful contrast, and he adds something new to it. First, he added a new key, a B major, beautiful key, and he's adding two voices to it plus the bass. It's very interesting. It's important that you keep that inside a little bit less volume, so that means bring this and then light. You get the sense that it's moving. More volume, get there, okay? And always keep in mind, same melody. Always keep that in mind while you play all the other backgrounds. So C#7 is like this, and he's gonna bring that C# on the bass, add a D to it here, flip the notes a little bit, get this, and the left hand will have F, B, and D#. So it's always symmetry, the same notes on the right hand are flipped in a different order, and kind of like a 6 pattern. Even though we have fifths sometimes. So we have this. So we play this, and if we move it, okay, we go to G, we flipped all those notes. So notice here. Flip, and melody on the top. So let's play it right hand by itself. That's it, left hand by itself. And together. We go back to G#7, and because the melody is G# already, we add the C#, E, and F. So we have G#7 here, and we have the melody on the top, and we'll add this chord. And we could add the melody. Let's do it again. Together these two notes. Together these two notes and D#. If we add the left hand, notice that the same notes as the right hand. So we could play the background and then add the melody. Notice D# on the top, same background. Together, by itself now. And I want you to think this as we came back now to B major. Left right hand we have this. That's the melody, background is this. So if we do it together, and you aim towards the top. Left hand, it has the B major, like a bending note there, an F, and a scale again. So we have like a bending note on F, back, all together. Okay, and we have everything. Now it's important, you could try to play the melody with just the bass. So you try this. That will give a sense of the melody. Now if you want to, you could play also the chords in the middle. Chords with the bass. And just by playing that, you could have a better sense of where the piece is going. And then you add it all together. helpful. Let's continue. Always do a study of the melody, a study of the bass, and a study of the harmony, a study of the rhythm. All of that helps a lot. So sometimes it seems like this kind of way of doing things is too slow, but really cuts the time, and you'll learn it in no time, very fast, after you do all this thinking with me. Let's continue now. So when we go back, that's the same. So if you did all of those, this will be easy now, because you have the same thing. Now here, instead of here, we're gonna lower right off. So let's play a little bit the melody. So we have, we change the direction of the melody that we had at the beginning of the piece, so it's going somewhere else, like an F major there. So we're gonna take it the same way we did the melody. We harmonize B major, same chord. So we have, that's the same thing from before, but it's not taking two of them, it's changing within one chord. So we have this now, same thing, change, change again, bass, A flat, and then here this is completely kind of new material, because we're going to C major, going here. So if we have the melody as D sharp, we could do the same chords that we have before. So we have chord 1 and chord 2 here, and we could run it the same way. So it's important that you remember that. If you do it with the left hand, we do it together. Then we just move that. Now when we go, we have the same melody on the top, but we change to this chord right here, the G sharp 7 again. We did it before. Going to A flat, we keep the same chord, but we'll add the melody. So if we move it, bass, melody, and we have the D, but it's bending to C major. And we have 2 times this. So we have, so if we put the bass, we have 2 G's. Now the only thing is left for us to do is add this chord, C major. So again, right hand F, F major, G. We could call that all together like this, we could call that a G9. So, and we get there. Okay, so let's play it there. Bass, changing keys now, and for the first time we get to a kind of a brighter color chord. And remember this with passion, so you could go a little bit faster, you could go for it. And it says più animato, so bass, okay, I hope that's helpful. We have a line now with octaves. We have this. So for that, remember the same line from before that we started at the beginning. So he's just doing it in another key and an octave. So we have again. We have G, D F sharp, A, what we call a G9th, G7, and we go to C major. So we have same way like we did at the beginning. And we get to C one last time. And remember that we come from here, so by itself, together, together. 10th here, if you can reach, you could split it. Everything works here. So from here, it's important that the octaves you ring the top note. The next part is based on the theme that we did at the beginning. I think you remember this. So if you take those notes out, you see this melody. So I want you to think on that right after we play. You have these octaves here. So it's the same as this. So you have. So I wanted to relate it to that. The only thing is we do it with octaves. So after we have that melody, we could start adding the chords to it. F minor comes from here. F and A, we put it in the middle. We keep F minor. We go. There we get to C major. Notice that the G is here. A minor color, and we get the G. So if at the beginning with this chord, that means it relates to C major. So we have this, we're gonna place the left hand here, and we have a C major chord extended to C. If we take on this note, on this E, we have another inversion, and we could pick those two notes. So I want you to study this like this. And C, you go down, and E. So you go down here, up, E, up. So that those, you have to group them in 4 notes, those four, and then you have just those 2. So it's much easier if you do that passage like this. Important that you remember this because that's the link to F minor. So C major. Okay, so for arpeggios, I've been discussing in a whole bunch of videos. It's always an up-down movement. So I go down, up, down, up, down, up, and F. Notice I group 4, 4, 2, and F. It's true that because you do down up, the thumb should be down, a little bit up. We'll place here, down up. And these 2 notes, down up on G, up, like that. So one last time, down, up, all 3 notes, down, up, down, up. Some people like to think that they have to shift. I cannot play this with the same hand position, so I have to move towards it. If I G this way, I go towards that way a little bit. Same here. Okay? If we do it together, the last C matches the octave, and we get to F minor. F minor is like this. and all we do is inversions also. And we do the same pattern. So we have this one, and then we'll take on C, and then we have this two notes. So group them. 4 notes, and these two by itself. And we do the same technique. So we go down, up, down, up, down, up, and back to C major. We do the down with going on the a little bit inside on the keyboard because the black keys, C, F, and, but again, down, up, down, up, down, up, and we get there. So. If you think of those movements, you can't miss it, and you adjust a little bit. That means that little movements right there, going where the behind, in other words, the hand has to go behind the finger. You should feel it. So let's play up to that point. So we have this. Good to see. If I do it slowly, F minor, back to C major. So we do the same. This one is new. A minor. A minor is like this. So we'll take these notes as an A minor inversion. We flip. And we get here. Okay, so if I do the entire left hand, we have this. F minor. Back to C major. Same thing. A minor. I'm gonna go to E major. So that's it. It's important sometimes that the pivot of the hand, the second, the third, and the fourth finger, they are very firm. So then when you play C, that's firm there. That's firm. That's firm. When you do F minor, the same here, firm, because that allows you to play very accurate. Firm, and back to C. Same here. Now we go to A minor, same. If you miss a lot of notes, it's because of that. You could think also like this. F minor. Back to C. A minor. Okay, now if we put it together with a melody. So if we play a little bit from before, we have this. The next part, like I said before, this is all based on the materials that we play in the first video. Remember the melody that we have. We had this. So first time he transposed it to B major. Now he's gonna transpose it to E major. You should know the scale. E major is like this. So he's gonna take the G sharp and play it from that note. Again. Same melody. B major. Now the only thing he does it in octaves. Same melody. Da, 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 da. worship there. Just another key for you. So 3 keys you have to know to play this song. Now, he does it in octaves, and if you have the G sharp is part of the E major chord. So what he does is flip the notes to this inversion and move them around. So he plays up, then he changed the chord. To reinforce that, he had the E here. So what we need to do is also add E major here. Same inversion, and we move them around. Play. And that's it. On the leaps, when you jump, first I look at the E and the G sharp. I jump, and kind of while I'm playing this, I'm looking at G sharp here first and then E. So I move that. So I kind of the right hand move first. See, notice it's a split second that I move right hand first. So that's why I could always play it right, because I don't look both at the same time. So together, the force that you do down, it brings you up to here. This one will bring you up again, G sharp, but we change to D sharp on the bass, and we'll move this chord around. We start on the C by itself. Let's do it again. And we get there. So we play that. Notice the crescendo. You could go poco loco there to D now. This is really a G sharp 7, but the bass is D in it. Same chord. It comes from here, G sharp 7 with a flat 5. Same, C sharp 7. And we get there. So I'm gonna play it very slowly. The trick is always the same. Right, left when you jump. E major. G sharp 7. We move the crescendo, diminuendo. Melody again. A, and we get there. You could split the hands, play that, or do the same with the left hand. A sense of where the harmony is going. E major. Notice the chord there. It's an F7, F sharp 7 flipped. So I will think of this position and then on this position here, and then back. Move it around. Let's match it now together. Matches. Matches every other note. Matches. Notice these are all E major notes. Now let's try to play it all together. For this section, we're gonna have the same melody, but the changes are more in harmony than the melody. So we're gonna have this chord, and we're gonna do the inversion, and we'll have this pattern. So we're gonna have the right hand in this way. Keep in mind that it's just E major, and what we do is move it around. Now we're departing from the harmony, first inversion, and all we do is add the melody. So we're gonna go all the way up, play G sharp and E, and come here. So we play it, and we do just that. This way we have split it. The melody in octave are here, the two voices in the middle, and the bass all together. If you have any problems practicing these passages, remember that you could do accent, so you emphasize the first one, light, strong, light, strong, light, or the opposite. So you could do light here, strong, light, strong, light, strong. So the same with the rhythm. You could do slow, fast, slow, fast, slow, and you could start fast. Okay, remember that I mentioned in the other videos that the right hand should, your eyes should concentrate more on the right hand, and then the left hand, right, left. So first I move, then I play. I don't shoot from way too far. So when I play, I'm already there when it comes to the next key. Now, if we got that down, all we're gonna do here is go ahead and use a G sharp 7. But Franz Liszt is gonna get rid of the D sharp, put it on the bass, and this chord we'll have it in both hands, and we move them around also the same way. All that there is left to us to do is add the D sharp and G sharp on the top, and that's it. So we play it, move it around, and the work is done. So we could practice the E major like this, and then the G sharp 7 like this. Then we just move that around, and that's it. We could count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then just play it. Next one. Now what we have is this chord. So if we got this chord, he will flip it. I have this note. And we do the same movement, but with one more turn. That's it. All the way, if we add the D sharp and the G sharp. Last time. Every note matches, so it's not that difficult as it seems. Now we're gonna go to F minor. F minor is like this. We'll take that note, put it on the top, and we do the inversion from here, and also the left hand does the same thing. There you have it. So we go to C and A flat. That's it. Then we're gonna go to a B minor 7 like this. So he's gonna take this chord, do the inversion, bring it here, bring it to both hands, and then he's gonna punch A flat and B flat. That's it. Remember the main chord. So he opened up everything. So sometimes these chords could be difficult to see it because he opens up. If I do it one last time, I have this chord. He keep that on the top. He brings the D and F here. He double up, same note, but added the B flat below. So we have this. So one nice way to practice is just the inside voices, because that's where the changes are. It's not changing so much the melody on the top. The left hand's changing. So you should practice like this. next chord, next chord, next chord, F minor, next chord, just like that. You could practice that with the bass. F minor. And then what is left for us to do is add the top melody. Change. So let's play it now. And we go back to the melody. All this was a harmony approach to the melody, not so much based on the melody itself. Now, when we get to here, so we go back to the melody from the beginning. Okay, remember that we did. Now we have top melody. So instead of going up, he dropped an octave lower, that melody. If I do it the way he wrote it, octaves. That's the entire melody. Now, because the chord he's using is this, B flat 7, I'm going to put that D in the middle of the A flat. So when I play this, I take that D, put it here, play the melody in octaves. When I play C, I'm going to play the F and A flat from the same chord, B flat major or minor. He switches that way. So here we have it. I go up and down on each octave. So I play down, up and down. Notice that I try to take always with fourth finger and fifth finger the octave here. I slide, fourth finger, octave, fourth finger. Now it's the same, but it's adding this triplet. 1, 2, 3, 1. Same. Now same, and adding 2 notes. And then descending. And then insisting again on the same chord that we played. So, in order to do it together, you have to just think on this chord that I mentioned before, B flat 7. So, you bring the B flat to the bass, and these notes, you flip it like this. So you play bass, that's it. So, let's say if I do it here, together, every other note. Okay? Okay, here, we have the same chord like this, but an arpeggio. 5 to 1, flip. I'm back. Okay? Open at the beginning, then we go to B flat again, same harmony, same arpeggio, 2 times, and here we're going to change to B. So let's try to play it together from here. We match every other note, arpeggio, again, same thing. It's important you do that triplet right. Da, da, da. It matches the D. When you do this, on the D we start together, right, left, right, and together. Okay, Let's play one more time from there. Same. Now he's going to change to the bass, but it's going to keep the same notes here. So all we have to do is do the right hand note. So fourth finger, top, and descending melody. Left hand. Notice the same, flipped, bass is different, B. It gives us like a diminished chord, coming back to B flat 7. If we do it together. For this passage, same, you can see here, I use the fourth finger as much as possible. If it causes too much trouble, you can use two hands. It's totally up to you. It's gonna go back and repeat the same. So if we play all this passage, we have this now. Triplet. Let's talk about a little bit to this passage. So we have same chords to E flat with A flat and B in between. Have a diminish to C, and we have that arpeggio there. So to play it, you could go down, up, and do a rotation from the thumb to the fifth finger. So if you do just the melody, in octaves, and with the harmony, minor, accent on the first note. The accent allows you to lift here, this B flat allows you to jump there. You use this force from here to here. Okay, harmony, we have the same arpeggio. Same. When we get to D flat, we jump to A flat, change the direction there. And we have the same going down. So, jump. Then we change chords again. I don't think that's a problem, other than playing the notes that he wrote. So if we do it from before, together, 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 together again. And you should ring the first note and the top more than the other, so. He wrote the affrentando, which means almost like accelerando, a little bit more excitement. Compress this as much as possible. And we get to this passage. So after we play this, it's just an arpeggio like the others. So fourth finger, make sure you pivot on the thumb. We get to the cadenza here. I like to separate several sections in it. The first thing that you should know is that it's a chromatic scale. Then what it adds is the third below. It's a major third from C to E. So we could do it in thirds. Now, when we have this, we could move them around. So you have to play the fourth finger plays to the right, the second to the left, and so forth. That allows you to play it very quickly and easy. Okay? So we have this. Here it starts over. So you only have to figure out this section. So 2, 4, 1, 3. 2, 4, 1, 3. 2, 4, 1, 3. This is the only exception here. We jump from F to A, we jump the 1, 3 and continue the same way. Jump again. So it's like 2 or 3 spots that we jump the fingering. Now that we have this, jump here from F, A to E and G sharp. We continue. Jump here from C, E to B, D sharp. There you have it. And then we have this. Now we start moving it. So we can move it like this. Right, left all the time. Slowly. It doesn't need to be too quick when you first start practicing. We could do it like that. We could do emphasis. We could start accenting the first note and leaving the second note as an extension. So the force we make here allows it to play this one. So we emphasize it. We emphasize the top note. We'd emphasize the second finger, so we could emphasize the inside note. We could do triplet. After that, what I do is start working with the speed, and I could work with one hand or two hands. I'm demonstrating this. I'm breaking this part in one hand so you can see it more clear. So I start working slow, fast. So E, slow, quickly to the next one. Same here. Quickly to the top note. It's important that you take as much time as you would like in here. But the next one, be quick. Take much time as you would like. Okay? So we can do the opposite. Very quick movements. Okay, now we could do triplets. And try it all together. If you try it all together and you still miss, you have to work slow still with accents. Go back to this. Okay? Some people do when they get here because they're coming, slowing down. Start slow, so start slow and then faster as you go. Depends on what you like. Remember, you could do rhythms, you could do accents, you could also practice it in thirds, slowly like this. Like I showed you at the beginning. Till it's easy. Now, when we add the left hand, we'll do the same. Now I like the first finger here because my body's too far from it, so that's why I don't put fourth finger to start. So I start with the first and start moving. 4, like this. 4, 2. I show you. Then I go back maybe. Okay? So the process is the same of practicing this. I might do it in thirds like this. Notice the fingers. 2, 4, jump. 2, 1, 4, 2, 3. So it's always the same fingering. And I like to jump. So I like to jump. Let's say here, I jump here. Jump. Jump. If you're not used to playing thirds like this, you could take a lot of time working on it. Slowly. Each one. Make sure it's right. If it's too long, just take fewer notes. Let's take 2/3. Let's say take this. Do just that. Add one more. A little bit more. Until you could do it all together. It's funny because most of the time you use 4, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 4. There's one that jumps always. But really you're always using this. On the lower note. The right hand is always using this. The top note is using this always. And jumping, so. Okay? So now if you have it like this, you can start breaking them now. And you do the same movement, right, left. You could emphasize the line below every other note. Emphasize the line on top. Top note. So for fingerings, I always use the same. 1, 2, 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 1, 4, 2, and so forth. It's always 2 here and 1. Whatever it is, always 2 and 1. And below is always 4, 3. Jumping on the key that we have here. Jump. Jump. So same. There. Same as the right hand. You could work with the rhythm. Loud, soft. Loud, soft. Loud, soft. Same thing. Emphasizing so your fingers get used to doing it. Emphasizing the opposite, the top note. Loud, loud. Then we could do every 3. Triplet. And fast, slow. Now let's change. Let's do rhythms. We do the opposite. We do every 3. me that will be enough. And then I just think on the movement a little bit. Go to the right, left, right. It's always the same movement. Try to be relaxed. And maybe emphasize a little bit the lower note, depending on which one you enjoy more. So you could emphasize the top or below. To me, it feels better the one below. So remember the thirds like this. If you have trouble with fingering, you could slow down the video and really find out what fingers work for me. Now when I'll do it together, I'm going to think on this. All this stuff I practice come there. Now it's true that if you look at this chord, it's a C7 chord. If you have the C7 like this, so he's working all with 7 chords here, all the way through, because he's just moving these notes here. Here you have a B7. Now here, you change it again. B flat 7, A7. So each time he's outlining the harmony, which is what all the great improvisers do. And here you have an A flat 7 inversion. So it's all inversion. Start with a C7 chord and go through all of them. So then you play it together like this, all these chords. And you start practicing the same way with it, with the accents and watching the movement that you go right, left. See, when we go inside, so it's kind of opposite the hands. Accent, every other note. Accent the inside. Then slow and fast. Opposite. Maybe I play it. Now when we get here, we're getting to a G minor 7 flat 5. G minor is like this. This is the flat 5 there. G minor 7 flat 5. So we play this. We have that. And then we're going to split the hands. We're going to play D and E flat. And we'll have this note. Left hand. Same notes. It doesn't cause any problems, this. It's the same. Right hand the same, left hand the same. And then we take chest with the right hand. So you could practice this with rhythms too. Emphasizing. Okay, one last time, we could emphasize the other note. And then do it with rhythms. All together. Notice that I slowed down a little bit when you get to the change of direction here, because I like it, it's more musical I think. But you could do it straight if you would like. So remember this position here and this one. That's it, then we move it. Then what we have to think is, you're gonna think on the same chord, this chord, the G minor 7 flat 5, you're gonna think it to go down, think on this. And all we do is add one note below. There you have it. So one note below we add the E to F, C, and the F sharp to G. So just think on the chord, this one. Still G minor 7 flat 5. So let's do it slowly. So 4 5 2 3 1 4 2 3 1 5, and then repeat here 1 4. Then we just rotate here from one key to another one. So if we practice, we could do the same thing. We could do slow, fast. Opposite. Notice that from E to F, I move this way. I move back that way to the right. Left, right. Left, right. Left, right. Left, right. Each time. Then left, right again. Okay? So he put leggero, so that means lightly. So the first thing that you should know is the main melody. At the beginning we played this. What he's gonna do is put this melody on the right hand in this area. We're gonna have to play the melody plus the background in the same hand with this fingering. It's important that you get used to using the fifth finger on it, because the melody is gonna fall on that finger, and we're not gonna use the fourth finger, only in one case. So practice the melody like that, and then we're ready to add the chords. For the first measure in this part, we're gonna have this. Because we have E flat and C, the only chord that shares those notes is an A flat major chord, and it's like this, just like at the beginning. So we're gonna flip the notes and use this chord, C, E flat, A flat, which is the first inversion of the chord. So we have this 2 times, and what we do is break it down, rest, and that's all there is. So when we add the melody, we have an E flat by itself, we get to C, and we break it down. We have solved the first measure, which is very similar to the beginning of the piece. Now what we're gonna add, because we are in A flat major, we're gonna add an A flat on the bass, and that's all there is to it. So we could play this. Okay, notice that we added the bass. Now there are 2 chords there that we have to also add, and if we have A flat like this, we could flip it one time and flip it another time, and that's the chord we'll play with the left hand crossing over here, and we have 2 of them. So if we work a little bit on the left hand, we have 1 2 3 4 5 6. If we do it together, you'll have the melody, the A flat and C, the chords, and that's all there is. We could pick up the pace a little bit. It's important that you bring out the C, which is the longer note, the 2 C's, and also maybe a little bit this C here. To do that, you just have to aim towards the fifth finger, and also the thumb a little bit more pointing towards the C on the top. And then we'll play it. So we have melody, background, bass line, and another harmony pattern on the top. So we have this. Okay, just like we did at the beginning, now we're going to change the chord, and all this is going to be based on the C7. So if you have C7 like this, we could put the G on the bass, put the C here as a melody, and we're distributing the same chord. So we could play this, rest, and that's all there is. To add the chord, we take these three notes and we also place them here, a C7 chord. So we have left hand, we have just that. Do it together. Melody. And we're gonna go to the next chord. Let's play both of them together. Okay, once we get to C and F, we're gonna use an F major chord. F major is like this, and we'll add the 7th degree, F7. But what we'll do is flip the E flat, put it below, and we have the background there and the melody. Melody is gonna be this, just like we played it before, but now with a background like this. Notice that they're the same notes from the F7 chord that I also mentioned at the beginning. So when we play it, it's gonna be all our F because it's an F7. So we have the C, we go up, come down, we go to D flat, and we go to C now, which is gonna change there. As the chords for this, we're gonna take E, A, and C and put it here. Also moving a half step to D flat, because the melody here is, so the left hand crossing over is going to support that, just those two notes. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 together. Okay, I'm gonna play it all together slowly. A flat major, going to C7, F7, now we're gonna change the chord. This is gonna be a C on the top and a B flat, but all this chord is gonna be called a B flat 7, and that's the original notes, the main notes from the chord. Now what we'll do is also flip the A flat, and we get this. He gets rid of B, put it on the bass. We have this chord as a foundation for it, but we have a C on the top. So we play C and this background. Then we go to F, B flat F, and we stop there. So C, F, and that's all there is. All that, we add the bass, B flat, so we have the melody, the harmony, melody, harmony, and melody. Now, to add a little bit more to it, he added the D, F, and C on the top. And notice that those notes, we played it within the B flat 7, like that. Always notice to bring one note more than the other. In this case, I might bring C and F more than the other one, so I do more pressure on those. All together will be this. And then here we'll get to an E flat 7. What we'll do is flip it, and we get to these notes. Background is gonna be this. Then we do the inversion, and And that's it. So we have this and this. Melody, we have the F. All over the E flat, the bass. So when you play this together, make sure you bring the top note together. And then back to A flat. So because we are using this chord but flipped, what we'll do is at the E flat here, we'll jump here, so we have the bass supporting the melody, and then bass again. So let's do it all together. Okay, last one, what we did is going to A flat, so it's A flat in both hands, and then we use part of the A flat chord, C and E flat, we get to F, and then we use the version of this chord, run up, and it starts over. I play it together there, slowly. Let's play it together very slow so you can see all of it, and then we'll move on to the next part. Okay, considerations. When you have a longer note on the right hand, always make sure you bring a little bit more. So for instance, when you have this melody, you bring more color to the top, lighter in the middle, more color. So you want to bring those up, and if you have an accent, you could exaggerate a little bit more. It's up to the person who plays the piece how they want to do that. And also, the foundation for the harmony, the bass, is very important. That you kind of play it very secure and with body. Let's continue to the next part. Now we're going to take the same notes, it's going to repeat the same harmony, but we're going to try to do it at the same time. So that means here we have again A flat major. All he's going to do is do the left hand arpeggio, doing a 10th. So from this chord, we're going to bring the C on the top and do an arpeggio like that. And then we'll take the same inversion, this inversion, to play up here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For the right hand we keep the same. Before we did this. Now for the first one we move from the C to the D one key and we do this. And then we have it all together. That's it. When we go to the C7, all we need to do is change these two notes. Put the E and the B flat here, and the bass G, E, B flat. That's the basic chord. Those are all the notes you use for this, and also we flip to play the C7. So if we break it down, you could play it together here, together there, and that's it. We solve the C7, both of them, A flat major to C7. Then we're going to change. So notice, if you have a small hand, it's no problem, you could do arpeggios there, or punch it all together all at once. Now when we go to F major, all we do is drop these two notes and get here. So you have F, A, all the way up there. So for this, we play the melody, we run F major, we play the melody, and then we're going to change. F and A also comes from F major. It's just arranged different in 10th. Again, if you can reach, you could let go of the notes. So if you play it together, now we're going to go to D flat on the melody. That's going to be the melody. Now the D flat, the chord that we have here is an E flat diminished. It's going to sound kind of like this. Now he brought the G and E flat below. He added a C here, double up the C, and then he goes to D flat. So we have D flat, and then we'll change again. Okay? Once we get to F here, he's gonna do like a minor chord here, but really it's a diminished chord because you have the D. So you have D minor 7 flat 5, which is this kind of sound, but the notes are flipped. The D is brought up below, and here we have the other notes. So this is it right here. So we could run it and add these two chords. So we could run it like this. We could run F together with that. We run it, and then A flat, we add this. And because the B is changing, we also change the background here. Just do it one last time. Now if we do that line all together, we could have this. So it's important that you know that each change of harmony, you could do a change of color. Let's say if we start on A flat, C7, more tension, a little bit more maybe. Major. We get to the top of the melody. Release. And then we get to another chord. So the next part is going to have a D flat and an F flat, and we're going to run this. Notice that I hold that B flat on the top and I run this. The harmony wise is changing like this. So we'll have this. And you'll see that the same note, the G that we drop here, we also up here will drop the same note. So we have E, A flat B, and then we drop to a G. If we do the left hand by itself, we'll have this. And we'll add it all together. So, memorize this chord. If you have to analyze it, you say, it comes from here. And the C is below, the E flat is here, and also we have these notes, and E flat is upstairs. So we have C minor 7 flat 5. Okay, so we play the melody. So what you have to think is the movement. From this chord, we're gonna drop 1 to A. Now, if we do the inversion of this, we'll have this notes, same notes. So it's this chord that is flipped there, and when we do this, he also drops here. So he does. So we have the arpeggio, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All together. Okay, very important. Here he wrote from a little bit louder to softer playing. So notice that E flat has to ring because we have 6 beats with it. So we change again. We have now a B and D. This chord. That is called an A flat minor 7 flat 5. But what he did is move the notes around. So we have this and this. And we do the same technique. We just drop one note down from G flat to an F. So we have melody on the top, we drop. Now just like we dropped there, we have this here. And we drop to F. So pretty much what you need to remember is this chord with the A flat, and then know that when we play that and then we drop. Let's do it all together very slowly. Notice all the notes, most of them by itself, G flat together now, and then A flat. And we switch again. We go to B flat and D. Notice this. D, F, A flat. It reminds you of D flat, but really, because we have a B here, it's a B flat minor 7. So we have the inversion. We play the D flat here. We move that. Same chord that we play here. If we do the inversion, we could put that here. And we have it all together. We move one note down. Let's do it one last time. Together with the melody. And we get here an E flat and C. And we get back to the melody. So notice the intervals there, sounding diminished with a C on top. Then we add the B flat. We go to C and G. Melody and chord inversion of A flat. So let's try to play it all together. Increase. Bring the melody in. We get to A flat, and he'll add is an arpeggio, all descending with the same notes. You say A flat, E flat, ascending all the way through. And then we have B flat. That's the only strange note to the chord. So you could do a little pause there. B flat, again back to A flat. Notice the main chord with a C on top. Then we're gonna do a C7. You could analyze this if it's not too heavy. So A flat, C7. Notice C7 is like this, and he just opened this up and bring two notes downstairs. Then you have F major, F and C. F major is like this. He just brought it down. Then we're going here. That's the main chord. It's already broken. E flat minor 7, flat 5. So we have this. Diminish from before we play that chord, and then we open again, and that is an F diminished like this. So what you can do if you get confused here, you could split the notes, even if it sounds without the tempo. That's what he wrote. Now it's important that you think a little bit on the melody. Okay, and when you do it together, we have rest there, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the same procedure in a different key. You can see here the main chord is having a G flat major, going here, moving here. It's not difficult. Again, what you could do is split them. And then think a little bit on the melody before we did. Now we're doing all together again one last time. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're getting to A major now. That's the chord there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and A flat major. Melody with 2 lines. Melody in the middle. 2 voices. And the piece ends with an A flat major arpeggio. Like I said before, I ends with an arpeggio, which is a symbolism from the Romanticism, to end the piece with an arpeggio to save the artist from agony. So we have this. E is important, E flat. I hope this video was helpful, and if you enjoyed, subscribe. Thank you very much.